Hi, good evening, Vivi. How are you?
Hello, Parul. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. Well, thank you for joining. To our audience, this is Parul Begum, your host, part of Life and Leadership Coaching. As usual, I'm bringing you another episode of an interview with a um, very empowering lady. She's got quite a lot of tips to share with you, how to bouncing back from depression. So Vivi Wallenius, she will be joining us, and I'll be asking her question and get some tips how to motivate yourself. So this is a serious part of our regular self-confidence series. So bear with us and stay in tune, and let's go and ask some question to Vivi. Well, thank you very much for joining, Vivi. And mm, we this recording goes everywhere. Our aim is to motivate other women of the world, and men as well, who's got challenges and difficulties on building self-confidence, who has different challenges in life, or come across different challenges in the past life. So any tips, anything would encourage them, motivate them to move forward with life as well. So thank you for your time. And what will be good, I'm not going to introduce you too much because I want you to say it so that people can hear from yourself. So if you could introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and a bit about your story.
Okay, thank you so much, Parul, for having me. So my name is Vivi Wallenius, and I'm empowerment life coach. I live in London. I have lived here for, I don't know, oh my God, over 4 years now. And originally I come from Finland. And the reason why I'm here speaking today is that I was depressed a long time ago. It took 4.5 years of my life, and I since recovering, I just have this need to help others. So I don't want that the journey of them is as hard as it was for me. So I'm really open about everything that happened. So basically that, and also obviously the work that I do, it's about helping people, not only with depression, because I feel like everyone needs to do something, even if they are doing well at the moment. So you have to do some prevention work.
No, that's thank you. Thanks for sharing your story, and also thank you. It's not easy for people to share their story, especially if they have past challenging experiences. Something like depression, mental health is a very taboo in society, and any society, not just particular society. And I think that's something really important to be speak about. So I'm really pleased to hear from you, and also I'm sure our audience can relate to you, and find themselves in a way to share and move forward with life as well. So really happy to have you here. So what I know, you just tap on a little bit about why you started doing this. So I'm going to ask you a bit more longer question. What was your reason for focusing on bouncing back from depression? Or you in your word, you said depression could be a road to empowerment and self-confidence. So it'll be really good to hear from you. What was your reason to focus on this particular issue?
So do you mean like during the time that I was depressed, like how did I find the motivation to get out of it, or
Well,
why do I know
that will be my next question. My first question is why you decided to talk about depression, and yeah, so reason behind it. If you could elaborate a bit more what you said a little bit more.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's a little bit of a taboo issue, and I feel bad that people have to, they have to endure the situation to deal with depression, and on top of that, they are, feeling ashamed, and that's too much. So I would like to be able to get the shame part away, so then you could focus your energy to dealing with the actual situation. And everyone has downs and tops in their lives. So I think we just need to become more kind-hearted and accept the fact that people do have problems, and that shouldn't be a problem. We should support each other and be open, because everyone has some kind of problem. So you know, let's have the environment where we can be open. And yeah, so I just want the world to be a better place in that way. So and always, because I have so much experience and I have gone through it myself, so I feel like I have the authority to talk about it.
Okay. That's fantastic. You talk about having authority because, you've been through it, and there's something, someone who is brave and somebody who wants to make a change to other people's life. So I'm really glad that you coming forward and you sharing your story, and, that's absolutely, and, we talked about people don't share it, and that's where lots of people mental health goes worse because they keep it themselves. And sharing, in a way, sometimes people don't realize is sharing help them, but also help other people. There's hundreds and thousands of people suffering from depression, and it happens in all to everyone, really. I think 1 in 4 statistically people go through like mental health issues. I mean, now I think pandemic, almost everyone had issues, so I think is coming out and talking about is really important, so we can help each other, definitely. So me going to ask you the next question, which is your tips as a survivor, or I would say thriver. I don't like to call survivors. You are now thriving from where you were in a deep, like situation to where you are now. What tips can you give it to other women like yourself, or other people like yourself who's been through depression, or who's going through depression and they can't see a way out, and become a, have a thriving life and not stuck in there? What tips would you provide?
Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge how difficult the situation is. So we are talking about situation where you have very little energy, you don't, like, nothing makes you like happy, not eating, not sex, not your family, like things that would normally make you happy. And you have a chaos in your head. Many times people just want to end their lives. So the situation isn't normal, and the power and the energy level definitely isn't normal. And because obviously if it's a good day, we can all make miracles, but if we have a depressed person who is low on energy and low on happiness, so it takes them enormous amount of struggle to actually do something. Even if they want to get out of the situation, it's really hard, and many times the overall situation isn't good, that the people in your lives are maybe pulling you down even more, and you're not getting good influence. Maybe you are waiting to get professional help, but you don't get it. There's so many struggles, maybe poverty. So it's like a black hole that is sucking you inside. So this is the start point, but how to get out of it? In my case, I actually thought that there is no way out, because if every day is a bad day for years, so, and you are in a low energy state, so even if you want, I remember thinking that I'm like swimming in an ocean, and I'm trying to get to the shore, but I don't know if I have enough energy to save myself before I sink. But you really have to trust that there is a new life waiting for you on the other side of depression. When I was thinking about this before this interview, there is actually no magic. You just really have to believe in it. I I wanted to end my life, and I didn't see any purpose to stay in here. I definitely wasn't motivated to continue, but I decided to go against the feeling. I decided that if I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave with actually fighting. So I will fight as long as I'm able to, and if it's enough, it is enough. So definitely fight, have the focus in the future, because there is future. Depression is just a temporary thing. So you have to dream, you have to think about things that you want to do. You have to focus on getting positive influence. That's all you can really do, and think if there's people who can help you, and have a plan. If you know that you frequently get really desperate, have a plan, have somebody to call. So even doing small things, positive things, even though you don't want to, can be the difference between you living and having a chance, and you, well, pushing the ultimate button. So it is a struggle, it is a battle. I can't sugarcoat it, but it's something that you can overcome, and you will be a different person. You will have to find a lion inside of you, and there is in everybody. So you just have to keep going forward, and also don't fight with the process. Like take everything as they are, acknowledge what the situation is, and then focus on going forward, no matter how small steps you take at the time, and think about the good situation that can wait for you, and don't rationalize it. Just decide that I'm gonna fight like there's no tomorrow.
Wow. Pastor Francis, I'm really sorry to hear what you've been through, but I'm really pleased to see how you are thriving now and what you've done to help yourself, and you mentioned about taking small step at a time and seek help. So in terms of if you could share maybe some of the practical things you've done to improve yourself from where you are to now, that would be helpful with our audience.
Absolutely. So during this 4.5-year period that I was officially depressed, I was actually depressed much longer, but during this time I didn't work and I didn't study. But what I did, I got psychotherapy for 2 years. So that was good to have somebody who is giving you new thoughts, and because even if you have a family that wants good for you, they might be too close to your situation, or no matter how much they want to help, they might not be able to help. So it's good to have professional, and I did have to wait to get the service, and also it took me 1 year to be able to apply, because I was just not in a good place in my head and energy levels. But that's definitely something that do consider, and make sure that the person is somebody that you actually like, because my first therapist, she kept falling asleep, like actually falling asleep during our sessions. So be mindful that even if somebody is a professional, they might not act in a professional manner. So take somebody who actually can help you and you feel comfortable to talk with. So that absolutely. And also I joined work therapy. So I was doing sewing. I don't remember, less than a year. It felt quite hard even to leave my home, and I think I had to spend, it was something like 5-6 hours per day, 5 days a week, doing that work, and there were also other people, and I just felt like I just can't stay awake. I'm not feeling good. It was a big thing for me to actually join this type of well, kind of therapy, working therapy. We were basically just working in there, but you were like normalizing your daily routine. So one way to not, be left alone, because it might feel really comforting staying home, not meeting anyone, but also you can't live like that forever. It's not a life. It's you are hiding, and you need to get out there somehow, or find an online community, somebody that can help you. And in my case, I'm quite artistic person, so I wrote songs.
Wow.
I had this club. It was really hard for me to go there because I was a little bit scared of people, but I knew that I had to fight, and I took lots of photographs, and I tried to walk a little bit just to stay in a good condition. So there's definitely things that you can do, and find something that is suitable for you. And many times it's not what you do, it's what you don't do. So if you have very negative people around you, sometimes it is just about getting rid of these people. That's also what I did. I threw away some people who were bringing me down. So also these things, you have to think, where does my energy go? I can't give these energy vampires my energy. So so if you become depressed, you have to think, what is wrong with my situation at the moment? Because depression many times it's linked to your situation, and like long-term situation.
Mhm.
And many times it's just getting rid of negative influence.
Okay, absolutely. Great tips, Vivi. Yeah, I think, you mentioned a number of things you've done to help yourself. So is looking at self-help really important, looking at hobbies, you said you did some swings and things like that. So looking at small things, looking at your hobby, just to focus and divert your mind, isn't it, from the thoughts of negative thoughts. But also you've said, sometimes you just have to deduct some people from your life if they're bringing you down. It's best to have two good quality friends than having 10 friends, because that way you can move forward, really. Yeah. And also you talked about professional help. Whether you go for psychotherapy or a coach or a mentor, is really important to seek some help, because there is someone always out there. So if you can't do alone, always seek help, ask friend, ask someone or a professional to help you. So definitely, help is really important. That's great tips. So if you were to leave one thoughts for people who are listening and people who are dealing with depression, what would that be?
Oh, there's so many things I could say. I feel like it's very much decision that you are worth it. You didn't come to this planet to be miserable and die. You have to give yourself a chance, and really believe. And it's actually quite fantastic how depression can change you in a positive way. Like obviously it can take your life, like let's face it, it's a very serious condition, but I feel like it's very much decision. Are you going to just take in all the punches that the world gives you, and are you just gonna go further down? I feel like it's very much about you deciding, I'm gonna at least try, and I hope it will get better, and it will. I mean, I just can't underline enough how much it is about attitude and choice, because I do understand. I have my own experience that if you feel very bad in your head, like obviously it's not an obvious thought that yes, I'm gonna fight, but it's decision that you can make, no matter how bad your situation is at the moment. And you don't have to be alone. Even I forgot to mention that I had a peer group, so other people who were depressed. So talking with them, many times they can understand you even more than a professional. So don't be alone, and really concentrate on the life on the other side, because there's lots of people who have overcome depression. And when I think about my life now, I feel so sad that I wanted to give it away. So it always makes me a little emotional. But yeah, no matter how bad things are, there's always a way up, and obviously you will become so much better person. Your understanding, your level of empathy. Many depressed people, they are the best people I have met in my life. So many times it's not that they have done something wrong. It's usually that something wrong has done to them, but they have to pay the price. But definitely do not give up. Do not give up. Life has so much to offer, and you just have to take it, make the choice.
Absolutely. Wow. That's a powerful word, and I think, yeah, what you said, there's always light in the other end of the tunnel, and doesn't have to end that way. And you have a life. And I think it's important to acknowledge that we are created for a purpose. Asking why you are created, is it to take your own life or to do something about it, and what you've done, very courageous, Vivi, and thank you for being open and transparent and sharing it, because as I said, people don't find easy to share, to talk about mental health, to talk about depression, and I'm sure that will uplift a lot of people who's listening today, that, there is hope, and have a faith in yourself, and don't give up, have the courage to go and seek help. There's someone out there ready to help you. So, definitely. Before I summarize, do you want to say anything else, Vivi?
Oh my God, I feel like there's so much.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's yours. Anything else you want to add in, feel free.
To say, well, basically, I want to underline the life after the struggle. It is worth fighting for, because many times you can think that, okay, if every day is a bad day for years, everything is lost. No, it isn't. And it's very much about you trusting yourself. I think I kind of lost my thought here I have, but yeah, yes, it's very important to talk about these things. I made a decision myself that whenever there's a chance to talk about depression, whenever somebody is willing to ask about it, interview like you are now doing, or help somebody, give a kind word, that I would do it. It is so important. So then somebody's situation can be easier just by doing that. So I would say, like, everyone should come forward if they have had problems or if they are having problems, because the problem will be smaller if we take care of it as a group, and not just like individually hiding somewhere, feeling ashamed.
That's great. You may, your point made me to ask you another question. How is life like that time, and how are you finding life now? Because obviously you are on the verge of taking your life, to now you are thriving. How do you compare the life? Is it worth living now? How do you find it? It's a very hard question to answer, but how are you finding,
Well, it's quite opposite because it's not even that long ago. I came out of depression 2013. I went to 2 different schools, learned how to make shoes, and then worked with bespoke shoes here in London. So my life changed gradually. So every time that I felt like I can push a little bit more, I did something more. I knew when I went to the school that I didn't have energy to do it. And it was a leap of faith once again, but I just couldn't be like officially depressed person because I felt like the world wasn't really treating me well with that status. So then being a student, and I didn't have to confess that I'm actually depressed, because it's although there's nothing to be ashamed with that, it's still unfair how the world treats you. So I had many difficult situations because my status was depressed, and also getting benefits wasn't that easy. So it was always difficult. But living now, well, I don't live in Finland anymore. I'm not stuck in my home, avoiding people, avoiding life. I'm not negative. I definitely don't want to die. I have energy. I have positive friends. I want to become a millionaire. I want to go much further than what I have achieved. But you know, only to have normal life, to work. That's like a big thing. Just doing that, you know, being able to take a shower without, you know, gathering your energy the whole day. So it's quite opposite, and also you do have to have like compelling future designed in your head, because otherwise what's the what's the point if you are only fighting to be able to suffer a few years more? That's not what I want. I didn't want that to myself. I don't want that to anyone else. So dream big. I still keep dreaming. There were people who said that I'm only going to go down. There was this chief of the facility where I did the sewing work as a work therapy. So I was helping other depressed people, and he just said to me that I'm only going to go down. So but I wasn't offended. I feel like we have much more power than we think, and I just thought to myself, like, okay, you know, you saying that, it tells much more about you. You're quite a sad person saying something like that to an individual who is fighting for their life. So but yeah, like not everyone are like cheering up for you, but it's okay. You just have to choose what info you let pierce your head. It's not about, many times it's definitely not about you. These people can be very sad in their own lives. Maybe they are the next one who are going to be depressed, and that it's about you. You have to believe in yourself, even though you don't. You have to choose to believe in yourself. And but now I'm quite excited. I feel like I'm entering a new level of life. So so never put a limit to what you can achieve. I'm actually turning 40 this month, so you know, don't compare yourself to others. Even though I kind of lost many years, I'm gonna make it up by doing a lot of stuff with the years I have, and also obviously I'm able to get so much from the memories and help other people in the similar situation now. So I just wish everyone lots of energy and will to choose life and dream, even though you don't want to, but please do it. You are worth it.
Wow, that's great. First of all, happy birthday in advance,
Well, thank you. Thank you.
and thank you. Yeah, thank you for giving your last point. Few things, you mentioned, obviously, having a big dream is really important because that drives you. And, and you'll always have negative people in your life and they will try to drag you down, but you don't let it go. You always rise up and kept focus. And what a story, severe depression to becoming a shoe designer, you becoming an entrepreneur. That is absolutely, designing your own shoe and making your own shoe. That's really having a focus, like you had the focus, you want to do something and nothing stopped you, even though you had negative people while you teaching or you are helping yourself, but you don't let it affect you. You keep moving and keep moving forward. And for audience, that's really important because, having the focus and having a goal always help you to get there, wherever you want to get there. Yeah, so thank you, Vivi. Thanks for your time. So I just want to say to audience, if you are suffering from something, don't give up. Also feel free to DM me. I'll be more than happy to help you with resources I have. And in this YouTube channel, we got a lot of videos, and I'll be doing constant interviews every month, weekly, bi-weekly and monthly basis to bring you, people who are thriving, also people who are expert on subject of self-confidence, but within that we look at different issues that affects people, motivational things, and getting all the tips for you. But also, if you want to share your story, please get in touch. I'll be very happy to interview as well, so that you can pass your message to the globe to help other people to recover or to improve themselves from the issue they are suffering from. This is your host, Parul Begum, and this is Vivi. Do you want to say goodbye to our audience before I close off?
Absolutely. Thank you for listening, and go and be happy and do what you can.
Absolutely. Happiness, we only have one life. And we need to ask why God created us. Whether you are religious or non-religious, doesn't matter. What your purpose in this world. When you ask that question yourself, that gives you focus. So keep dreaming, and goodbye for now.